Boom. Been waiting for this all week, by the way. I
Yeah,
got my cohort, Jeff. Jeff, you want to say what's up to the people, man?
I do. Solo, first of all, what's up, brother? People, what's up? Y'all welcome. Big Daddy Energy Podcast. Talk about all things related to mankind, manliness.
Yeah, it's
Um,
always good to come in and just chat with y'all. Of course, we have, as you can see by the title, we're talking about something I guess is pretty important.
They tried to play us, but we made the game. Offend these haters, turn their shade to shame. Believe you me. Stick with the name that pays. Big Daddy everything. And they thought I was dumb to rap, but how dumb is that when I'm the running back? Go punch you in front of you at eye level, see if you gon' stomach that. It's food for thought, but we don't feed them hoes, we don't need them hoes. Eloquent, Big Daddy elephant, just in their element. Intelligence, telling men something they could tell a friend. And
Oh, there you go. Just taking notes. You can see my notepad.
I was reading. So,
I went and turned my volume up as that music was playing, by the way.
did you?
Thanks.
Are you jamming? Hey, thanks.
Very much. Some exciting stuff that we have to talk to y'all about. Speaking of the joking that we're doing about water, these will be different from now on.
They
You'll
will.
see very soon.
They will. We won't show you just yet, I suppose. Maybe we'll
No,
wait.
no, it'll be great for
Okay.
us all. But we definitely have something finally here. There you
I
go,
was
brother.
taking a sip of it. Yeah.
There you go.
All right.
So of course we're joking, right? We're starting this thing off with a joke, which means more than likely the subject matter is pretty serious.
Yeah.
Brother, why does that? Why is that? Can't we just change, brother? What?
I suppose could. There's probably a path that we could take. Uh, I don't. I don't know that I'm interested in taking it though.
Got you.
Um,
Because what if it just makes us seem less genuine?
I think it would do that, and perhaps it could also crush us because some of the stuff is pretty damn heavy.
That's pretty serious stuff.
So, yeah,
Man, I'm pretty thirsty. I tried to take care of that before we went live, but
I totally understand, brother.
right.
Yeah.
All right. So the question is, should we be more empathetic to the pathetic? How,
Mm.
how horrible am I, brother?
I didn't know you were going to say that. I almost turned my camera off real quick. That's how terrible that is.
You
I
wanted,
almost
you wanted,
abandoned you.
you wanted to hide from that?
Yeah, I was about to abandon you, but I was drinking some water. And so I'm already here now. No,
Got you.
I get it, brother. I hear you. Sounds.
Well, of course, we use pathetic to really be like uh, a shame on someone and pitiful, like something that's
Yeah.
pitiful. We don't look at that as a reason to be humble to that person.
Right.
Instead, we say, "Man, you're a pitiful disgrace. You know, I would hate to be you."
Yeah.
That's a very prideful approach to that. So, a pathetic person, um, what are they looking for? Not even what they're looking for, but what do you have the opportunity to have? Sympathy, a little bit, maybe.
A bit of pity. Yeah.
Maybe a little bit of empathy.
Empathy. Yeah. There's just real quick, brother. I don't want to kill your thought here, but there's two definitions to pathetic. I think when people hear it, they always hear the second. So the first use of pathetic would be to arouse pity by way of vulnerability or sadness,
Okay.
right? Um, and then the second one would be to be held at a low standard or of less standard. So I think when people hear pathetic, they hear the second one. That
Yeah.
hear
Yeah.
low standard when. What we're saying is this arouses pity through sadness and vulnerability. It's pathetic.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's good. It's good. If I see a pathetic dog,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not judging them. I'm saying, look at this
Right.
roll down, dirty, grungy, mangy animal.
Yeah.
You should have paid your taxes.
Despicable.
Go get a job.
Get a job like the rest of you. Mutt. That's not what you're saying. That's yeah.
Right, brother. That's not what's being said here.
No, and the feeling of pity is described as sorrow and compassion
There you go.
based on sadness, right? Something that's or misfortune of someone. Someone suffers misfortune and you feel sad for them. That's pity.
There
You
you
know,
go.
and if they're in a state that is pathetic, it will arouse that pity.
Yeah.
You start to feel sad for them.
Good.
Kick them. Kick pathetic dogs.
Dad, please don't do that.
Please don't.
So we've kind of cleared up what that title means. Should we be more empathetic to the pathetic? Because the other title, or the main title, is the question: is suicide ever understandable? Has there ever been a story that you've heard? This is a question for everyone. You heard this story, and you thought it over. You played it in your mind. You could even relate to most of it, and then you say, "Nah, I understand. I understand."
No.
Who knows if anybody would have chosen anything differently. I actually understand. Let's list some things, Jeff. Would it be understandable from your own mind and perspective if somebody was worth, I don't know, $32 billion this year, and then in the same year they're going to prison?
I understand.
Lost all their money, and they get to go to prison too.
Yep, I understand.
Before the age of 40.
Yeah.
Okay. So if somebody like that, there is such a person. I just don't want to put his name on it because I believe in the power of tongue, obviously. So I don't want to use his name, so it won't be linked. But if a person like that decided, that's it, man, I'm not gonna hang around for this for the rest of the way this is looking. I'm not gonna.
I'm out of here, man. Yeah.
You understand that, Jeff?
I would
You
understand that for sure. Yeah.
What if you were in those shoes, similar to that? What would you do, brother? Worth $32 billion, which means every single thing you ever wanted from the age you were 16 until you were 32 is right at your fingertips. I mean,
Yeah.
literally.
Yeah.
And then you lose all of that. You get ridiculed publicly, and also you got to face federal charges.
Yeah. Yeah, I understand completely. I can see how one would say, "Well, I guess that's it for me. Let me get up out of here." Me personally, I couldn't even tell you exactly how I would feel
Mm-hmm.
because I'm sitting in a place where I'm still looking to fulfill my purpose. I'm on my way to making the money, all of that.
Yes, sir.
I have a very intense will to live for as long as I can, right? And it's like this, brother. I understand that there are a list of things that I'm willing to give my life for. I'm willing to die for, like openly die. Right? If I have to pick death or this other thing, I'll pick death. And so if I can make a list like that, then I would suppose if I go from billions to nothing in prison, how hard would it be to pencil it into the list? You know what I'm saying? Like I already have things lined out that I'm willing to die for. And if you lose everything, brother, imagine feeling like your purpose is now gone also, or your usefulness is also gone.
Got you.
The next question would be like, what's the will to live? What builds the will to live?
I got you. So you would have to definitely think about what consumes you, and if your ever consuming thought was to make this the way that it was made and to get away with it, and then you failed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's look at this. Dale says that's still not acceptable. Leave, and if you made it before, you can do it again. Uh, leave or live. Leave, and if you made it before, you can do it again or live. Uh, Daniel is saying it's not acceptable. So you don't understand that it's not understandable.
Yeah.
That's what Daniel's saying.
Unacceptable.
Everybody obviously has to have their own answer because people
Right.
who are I'll leave the country. No, that was tried. That the character that I'm thinking about, yeah, he left the country. He just went to the wrong one.
Yeah, there's a lot of them you can't go to.
Yeah, the extradition laws escape. I got you, Dan. I see what you're saying. But that's somebody who has the will to say, "Oh, that's not the end of my life." Everybody has a different answer, and that's why this discussion is so important.
Yeah.
Because obviously, when somebody is taking their lives and there's people that's upset or like, "Man, why'd you do that?" and "I can't believe you did that," they have their own answer is, "If I was going through that, I wouldn't have killed myself."
Right.
So before we can deal with the people who say I don't see myself committing suicide, we got to deal with the people who say no. I kind of understand that.
Yeah.
It's important to have the conversation before it's too late. But I appreciate the fact that you said no. That won't do it for you. Okay, Jeff, can you give us another situation? Something, no names, but just something that you've seen or heard of.
Yeah, I'll tell you one. I've seen suicide quite a bit throughout my life. I've gotten very close to it actually with friends, close friends, and so I tend to look at it from a unique perspective in my way, I guess. But the strangest one that I ever saw was I knew a young man who was at his mother. Someone broke into the home with a gun. He grabbed his father's shotgun and shot the man, took his life to defend his home, him and his mother.
Oh man, that's it.
That's it.
Appreciate the story.
Yeah.
Let's try to stick with
Well, it wasn't.
situations. Just try to stick with situations that is.
I was building the story. I was building it.
Oh, that has to be it. Was that in Texas?
It was in Texas. Yeah. Yeah.
This is interesting. Please continue.
Yeah. It was in Texas, and so he was arrested immediately, and then he was found.
The person that died was arrested.
No, sir. The guy that did the dying, the guy that gave the dying
Was arrested in Texas.
He was arrested in Texas because he would not have been old enough to have purchased the shotgun.
I see.
And so he ended up sitting in jail for I think about a year.
Okay.
Over this, but he ended up charges got dropped. All of this. It was all kind of explained. He had to go through the process. It really bothered him that he took this guy's life, and it turned out that he may have like inadvertently knew the guy from some people he knew the guy because we live in a small town, and so it kind of weighed on him, and he would not stop spending time trying to figure out this guy's family, all this kind of stuff, and it chewed him up, man. Eventually, he would end up taking his own life.
Wow, brother.
And I always found it very strange because you think like it's the willpower, right? You think like, well, somebody just doesn't have the will to muscle through life, so they take their own. But this guy had the willpower to defend, you know what I mean, and to take life in that defense. But then he couldn't stomach it, so he took his own. And it's very strange when you look at it because you took a life to defend your own, just to later take your own. You know what I mean? So
it's interesting that story. And I know you have some more to put with that, but there's things I want to point out about stuff like that. Mm-hmm. For one, there's a lot of things to understand when you have a firearm, especially in the state of Texas. There's a lot of things.
Excuse me, guys.
That once you have this weapon, you got to know there's certain laws here in the state of Texas and federally that you'd be surprised don't protect you as much as you thought they did.
Yeah.
And so I behoove everyone, because before he got arrested, he didn't know these things.
Right.
So I behoove everyone to understand all the things that comes with having a firearm. Make sure that you also understand how to shoot. Hey Jeff, I don't know where I'm getting all this stuff from. I am unarmed, as you can see if you look at my
Yeah.
hands.
Yes, sir. You are unarmed. Yeah.
Okay.
As am I.
Yes, I can. Okay, so both of us, because in case they
Yeah.
think we're passing them,
Nope.
we're not passing. There it is.
High five.
All right.
Oh.
So and so today is December. What's today?
18.
Today is December 18th, and it is at what time is it? 8:22.
8:26. Yeah.
Hey, all right, that's covered. But there are some things to understand about possessing a firearm and how you can use it. You know, when you feel that it's necessary to use it. Okay, beyond that, I'm thinking about also when you pull the trigger. I'll just say that I listen to a lot of rap music from back in the day. Something a really renowned rapper said. You notice I don't say names. I just don't say names. All right, Jeff.
That's
All
cool,
right.
man. Yeah, it's honorable.
But when he talked about taking someone's life, he let it be known that it's kind of quiet and it's you take somebody's life, it's not gonna like you. It's you have that annoyed feeling, and then you're quiet because you know that you've taken a soul from this earth, and it's not. It ain't really anything to. It ain't no celebration, man.
Right. Yeah.
To know that your reaction or your decision made it final for somebody, that's I don't imagine that'd be very enjoyable, Jeff. Especially if it's your first time.
I wouldn't imagine. Not at all.
So that's another thing to think about. Now I don't tell you that so that you can hesitate. Know
Right.
the law, know what you got to do, and take care of your business. I just want to share that with everyone because it's fine. It is final.
Yeah. Yeah. Which leads me to what I wanted to bring up with it.
Yes, sir.
Is the notion of considering things after the actions are done. And I think this is where a lot of the problems we have with men, because when you look at the numbers for suicide and suicide attempts with men, what you find is a very strong urge to end one's life comparatively to, like, let's say women who try to kill themselves or try to suicide. And so what I suspect is that, and also you find I think it's like 30% are like clinically diagnosed depression, where the rest of it was like considered maybe depression, but not like serious enough or in depth enough to be like clinically diagnosed. And so what you end up with is these varying factors that create this. And I think a lot of times guys go into the willingness to do things without weighing out the consequences. So like he may say, well, I'm legally allowed. I'll be okay if I take someone's life by defending myself in my home. That's allowed. And so they end it there. So their willingness to now take someone's life is based on whether or not it's allowed. And so it's allowed. Now I'm willing. The problem with this is there are still heavy consequences. And not only that, but they don't end, they stack, they compound the consequences. Because as you go on with your life, it's going to weigh heavier from what I've read with psychology. It weighs heavier that you took a life, right? Because now the older you get, life becomes more valuable, and the taking of a life becomes more severe, right? And so because you were willing to do this thing, you did this thing, and now you can't live with it. And it's like, well, what should you do then? Well, make sure it's legal, and then spend some time with it, right? Like spend some time looking at men that have been in this situation. There's plenty to read. You know what I mean? Weigh these things out. Just like everything, weigh out whether or not you want to get into marriage and have children. And how are you going to be able to handle a divorce if she takes the children and takes all your money? Because that's one of the leading causes suicide. And I think men don't weigh these things out. So
Oh, no, I like that.
yeah.
No, please continue, brother. I like that though.
Yeah. I think the biggest culprit to this is moving forward without putting in much thought, and I suspect it has a lot to do with the access that we have to all of the things that we have access to, like GPS and all this. So, to give you an example, when you need to go somewhere, it used to be that you had to pay attention to everything as you were going there, right? That's how it
Yes,
was.
sir.
Now you don't have to pay attention to anything while you're going somewhere. You just have to listen to this robot lady tell you where to go. And then just kind of turn. You don't even know what street you just turned on. You just turn because the blue line was pointing in that street, and so you're not even aware of like your surroundings or how you're getting somewhere, where there was a time not long ago where that wasn't acceptable. You would never get somewhere like that. You'd have to pay attention to where you're going. You have to make sure you turn on this street, and all of that. And I think, what does that do? That frees up the mind to focus on things that don't matter as much. And so we like habitually don't weigh consequences anymore.
I got you.
You know what I mean? We don't consider our actions, and then we just commit to things. When they fail, we've attached ourselves to our commitments, and they failed, and then now we're detaching ourselves. I think that's the way it's seen, and men just tend to be more serious about it. I think when men decide to end their lives, they're pretty serious about that, and so that's why the numbers are so high for men compared to when you look at like the women. The attempts are higher for women, but it's more so like the expression or desire. Like I feel like killing myself, and then so that's counted as like.
But don't women change their minds a lot? So they're like, oh well, I changed my mind actually.
Yeah, they change their minds so much that for every one of these committed by a woman, there are 3 by a man.
Because I was going to ask actually, why is the face of suicide a young white lady? Why is that the face when somebody thinks, oh, suicidal risk, or why is that the picture of it?
To arouse pity.
That's okay. That face actually gets the most pity in America.
Yes, sir.
For as long as we can, as far back as we know.
For sure. Yeah.
No, that's the actual answer. It couldn't be another one.
Yeah, that she is the damsel in distress, brother.
I got you. Okay. All right, fellas. Good to see you, Manny says.
Manny, hello. What a wonderful smile.
What's up, Manny? Yeah, I concur. We're just talking about suicide. Something that needs to be talked about, so we'll try to make it as fun and light as possible.
Mm-hmm.
I see you want to join. You're going to help us to make sure that it's as light and fun as possible. So what is this? Every time somebody sends something, I have to read the teleprompter. It says, so all right. That's I like what she does with yours, but I just supposed to read that.
What is this? Some sort of different language? What is this? All right, let's see.
Yeah, I think I heard that one before.
Nice writing, Manny.
She's a pretty good songwriter.
No,
that's true. You did ask about a different language last time. That's true.
Brother. I did.
All right.
Well
so,
played.
what are some of the signs, brother?
This is good. I think this is a good place to.
There you go.
I think this is a good discussion. Some of the signs. On the outset, brother, it would seem as though there aren't very clear ones.
Are we talking about Twitch, DJ Twitch? How much you know about this guy, Jeff?
A little bit. I know I've seen him all the time on Ellen's show. I know that he was with Dancing with the Stars. From what I saw, brother, I mean, he had a wife and children. And he seemed to be doing well.
Okay.
It seemed to me that his wife was, helpful and she loved him. So I don't know. That's it though.
Okay. So back to the signs that we're looking.
Okay.
What are some signs, brother?
I would consider isolation to be one of them.
Isolation.
Yeah. Yep. When someone isolates themselves, this is no good. I don't mean like temporarily, like I need a day to myself. I mean like they begin to isolate themselves socially from their family. They just begin to kind of be an island.
Whether that person is going to commit suicide or not, that is something to take into account.
I think
That's
so.
Serious. That's serious.
It is serious because let's say suicide doesn't come from it.
Okay.
There are still bad things that come from it. Because isolation, yes, sir. They could kill someone. They could begin to make very poor choices. Even if it's something as minor as health, their health will decline because people that are in isolation do have more health problems. Their health does decline rapidly. Okay. There's no reason to get in shape or to look good because they're by themselves all the time. So who cares if I eat this entire pizza? So, isolation is no good, but I would say that that's a sign. Yeah, I'd say.
Okay. Ray Toria has depression as a sign. I want to talk to everyone about depression just briefly. Mm-hmm. So, here we all are. Right? All of us are alive at the same time. Mm-hmm. What a wonder that is already. Yeah. That there's 8 billion people alive at the same time. That's amazing.
It is, yeah.
But when you look out from this place, all 8 billion like it here more than I do. Because if that wasn't true, you would be able to look at someone that has no legs and they've had no legs since they were born. Yeah. Or they lost their legs in a freak accident. And you would say, surely I have it better than that person. Maybe. But a depressed person, even with hazel eyes and a degree, to say their experience is better inside here than mine is. Or I don't care what their experience is. I don't care about any of their experiences. Mine is unbearable.
Yeah.
And so, and when I say unbearable, doesn't mean that literally they can't bear it. It's that's all they can do is to try to, the weight is too heavy.
Yeah.
Waking up is a task, brother. It's a task. Oh my gosh. Going through the normal functions is a task. What a task it is to brush my teeth today. Yeah. So that person's spirit is flat, man. And their soul is tormented. So there's a lot of people who will say, well, depression isn't real. That's very close to where I'm at. That's very, very close to where I'm at, except there's a word for it. And I know this just because there's a word for everything doesn't mean.
Yeah. Well, it's not nothing, though. There's a word for it.
It's not nothing. There's a word for it. The Titanic was unsinkable. Mm-hmm. And I know there's a lot of things that I learned that you taught me actually about the Titanic. That whole thing was, that's another story.
It was unthinkable.
That's a whole other story. Yeah. Had a lot to do with money though.
Right.
But I'm very close to saying that depression is not real. I'm so close, man. And I know that may offend some people, but I still aren't. I'm still not privy with the enough information to say that it's not real. I'm not privy with enough.
Yeah, and a side note, brother, it wouldn't offend depressed people. It would only offend people that are not depressed.
You think?
Yeah.
If I told a depressed person, "Hey, you're not depressed,"
They're not going to care about what you just said. They're depressed.
oh,
You know?
but depression isn't real. It's just you're just going through something that you can.
Whatever, man. You get out of my face.
Okay, but before you leave, I just one last thing.
I'm out of here. See, this is why I'm going anywhere. I'm gone. I'm out of here.
Okay, but no, just one last thing I wanted to say.
What?
You can rise out of this.
You think if I could, I wouldn't do that already?
Yeah, you just have.
You tell me how, doctor. Tell me how to rise out of this.
Okay. Let's pray. All right. I'll be praying for you. How about I get a hug?
Don't touch me, man. I'm out of here.
Oh man, that didn't work.
No, sir. No, sir. Yeah, what? I'm out of here.
Why do doctors prescribe meds for it? That's very easy.
Yeah.
The reason doctors prescribe meds for it is because money. That's so easy.
For sure.
Brother, if I went in and a doctor told me I actually diagnosed you of having turtle knees, I'll say, Doc, what? I'll say, you have turtle knees. Oh, snap. I do have turtle knees, don't I?
I don't want these.
You do. You have turtle knees, and you should be okay. But as you get up older in age, it can be an issue. Well, don't turtles live a long time? That's tortoises. Turtles usually don't put a lot of stress on their knees because they can't.
They swim. They're in the water mostly.
Right. They can't afford that much trauma. Now, if you were living in the water all your life, you'd be fine with turtle knees. Oh, Doc, I don't want turtle knees. Do you want tortoise knees? Give me tortoise knees. All right. I'm going to prescribe you these, and this may not exactly give you tortoise knees, but you at least have decent knees for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
And I will say, man, I'll come home to my family. I got some good news and some bad news. We want first. They'll say what? Of course. I got good news and bad news.
Oh, we'll take the good news first.
Okay, good news first. There's a cure for it.
What? What's the bad news?
Well, I didn't want to say it on the phone, but turns out I have turtle knees.
What?
Yeah. Looks like I've been having it for the last 6 years.
They can do something about it, though, right?
Yeah, well, the thing is, surprisingly, they have a pill that, because so you look at turtles. Turtles don't have good knees because they have to swim. That's what the doctor was telling me.
I've always thought like turtles' knees are terrible. I just saw a turtle like 2 days ago, and I was like, man, those knees are weird.
So it's kind of what I have. Yeah, so they're not going to be full tortoise, because tortoises have knees and they live for a very long time.
I was gonna say because it's not tortoise knees, it's turtle knees, right?
Yeah, turtle knees. I mean, I'd take some tortoise knees.
Where do I get them?
But
damn, man, I'm sorry to hear that, man.
Well, like I said, you wanted the good news first. There's a cure for it, sir. So I'll just be taking these meds, and gosh, at least hopefully I'll be able to be good and clear of turtle knees, and should be fine. Rachel Hogan, so big farm can kill us. Good. Oh yeah, she says. Yeah, but like, what the heck are they really giving those people? I knew someone that was diagnosed once and on meds, and yeah. So let's go into it. Let's go into depression. Clinical depression. Matter of fact, I don't want to lie to y'all at all, not even a little bit. So I'll go ahead and find what the definition for clinical depression is. While I'm doing that, brother, if you would, uh, look up just a regular definition of depression, like the etymology.
Okay.
All right, so called major depression. All right. Clinical depression, also called major depression, a mental health disorder characterized by persistently depressed mood or loss of interest in activities, causing significant impairment in daily life. Possible causes include a combination of biological, psychological, and social sources of distress. Increasingly, research suggests these factors may cause changes in brain function, including altered activity of certain neural circuits in the brain. It's chemical. Haven't we all been depressed at some point in our lives? That's a good question. Jeff, what you got for depression?
So it comes from the Latin deprimere, means to press down. It also would be depressio or depress. So we've talked about D before as a prefix. It means
Yes.
to bring down or to come down. And then press, we know is to press down. So like if you could get the character of a depressed person, it would look something like this.
Go down. A little more.
Hmm.
Down a little more. Okay.
All
There
right.
you, yeah,
Okay.
there you go.
So
Then
that
press
would
down.
be pressed down, someone that's been pressed. Similar to the word oppressed, by the way. Um, so yeah, that's the and it needs to be pressed down, and so that's what I've got. I know that when I looked at clinical depression at some point, there was like a difference in neurology with people that had like whatever regulates the mood was not working properly. I don't know what that would be, the medulla oblongata or something. Doesn't regulate properly, broken. Um, but that's
Yeah, that's why I said it's chemical. Manny has a good question. Haven't we all been depressed at some point in our lives? Sadness. We've had sadness, or let's think. Have we been? What's another word? Not depressed. Um,
um, um, what is another word for depressed? Let's look up
in a
synonyms.
stage of, man, I don't know. I just
Melancholy.
know melancholy. You just have no fight. You're just
Yeah,
down. How about that? How about just down? You're just down.
down. Yeah.
Yeah, we've all been down before. I've been down. I remember the worst part of my life, my lowest point in life. I remember it.
Mhm.
I relive it every once in a while. It's I don't get embarrassed. I don't get embarrassed. But I really don't like that this is true about my life.
Yeah.
All right? Because I know how to uppercut people. And for
Yeah.
somebody that knows how to uppercut people, this never should have been part of my life.
Gotcha. Yeah.
But I'll go ahead and share it because listen, life experiences that's exactly what it is. It's life experiences, and you'll be all right, man. You will. It doesn't matter how low you go. You'll be all right as long as you're still alive. That's the thing. You're winning if you're still alive. That's the thing. When you die, that's it. It's game
Yeah.
over. Game is actually over. You're still alive. You're all right. I remember having a loved one come visit me. It's my mother, who she told me, if you get into trouble again, I won't come to see you. and I got in trouble. This time it was the big one, the one when you go to the big house.
The big trouble. Yeah.
So I came for visitation. Both, actually, my mother and my father. My father, I don't remember him ever. Well, he never came to any of my basketball games or anything like that. That was, I don't say that to mean anything except for he came this day.
Yeah.
And to be able to see them, I remember that another man told me to strip down naked, to pull up my sack, to turn around, bend over, spread my butt cheeks, stand up, turn around, open my eye, sit my tongue out with the same hands.
I never understood why they don't go face cheeks first, man. Jesus.
I didn't have any hair, but he told me to do this. And oh yeah, I forgot about the feet. I had to, when you turn around, you show your feet, wiggle your toes, show your feet, wiggle your toes. Or else you can't go see the people that care about you. I know how to uppercut people, Jeff.
Yeah.
That can never happen to somebody that knows how to uppercut people. And when that happened to me, I realized I have lost all control of my life.
Yeah.
Because I would never do that. Not even for $700 million before a man. Why would I do that? And to feel powerless, that to me, that's because I'm big on strength, Jeff. Power, strength, facility. I'm big on that. So to know that, I mean, brother, you know what I could have done, man? I could have said, man, F you, man. I don't do no what kind of place is this y'all run? The only reason I did it, Jeff, was because something that was worth more than $700 million, something that was beyond, on the other side of me completely humiliating myself to the worst degree that is possible. Obviously, I didn't get violated, because then I wouldn't have saw my parents that day.
No, sir. No.
And that meeting, that visit didn't go well at all, brother. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And there was a lump in my throat. And I knew that was just the first visit. And I had a 12-year sentence.
Eesh. Yeah.
So either tell them, please don't come see me, or this is your life for the next 12 years. That was my lowest point. You know.
Yeah.
Because of my mentality. It's just because of my mentality. And everybody's lowest point, it's because of your mentality. It is because of your mentality. Like when somebody, their wife leaves them and all that, isn't that their whole world, brother? Their mentality is,
right, yeah.
You took the dog, you sick bitch. You took the kids, you took the dog, you took the house, you took half of my money. And so that was their world.
Yeah, of course.
And so it's the mentality that gets you in that, oh, this is the lowest place ever.
Right, yeah. Yeah, which kind of says to a point that I want to bring up later, but not just yet.
So I don't know how far that goes, how many clinical people go into depression clinics and say that that's their reason. I probably would get kicked out for that. They'll probably kick me out. Say, hey, get out of here. You're wasting our time. That's it.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry, brother. I don't see a lower than that. Without being, completely turning my back on my sexuality. But other than that, I don't see a lower than that, brother.
Right.
Listening to the commands of somebody do something that you completely are against all the way. So if you're at your lowest, is there hope? Depressed people can't see the hope. I couldn't exactly see the hope at the time, so I can't call myself depressed, but I didn't really see the hope
Yeah.
until the Most High God came by way of Scripture, man, by the way of the Scriptures, and I was able to see hope. So, like the guy that I was trying to pray for, the best prayer is to pray that that person has hope. If you ever deal with somebody you think is depressed, or they tell you that they're depressed, or they're suicidal, and they want to die, they feel like dying, or it'd be better if I wasn't here. Pray that they have hope. That's what you pray for. Pray for hope.
Right. Right.
All right, brother, what you got?
Yeah. No, I appreciate that.
Sir.
That and it's a good picture of a bottom, of being at the bottom, right?
Hey,
Well, all right.
come on.
I didn't mean.
Damn it, Jeff. Got time to make jokes, man.
All
That was
right, man. Of being at the bottom, and
this is,
depressed. All right. Okay.
golly, man. That's literally the worst thing you could have said, brother.
I am actually
This is your lowest point.
at my lowest point right now. And I know you can't tell because I'm laughing, but that is not at all what I intended to say. I'm trying to tread carefully here, Victoria. Oh man, yeah, brother. Words, man. Gosh, you got to say it the right way.
Man, come on, man.
That's a good picture of what rock bottom feels like.
There you go.
Yeah, there it is. And it's typically when you're fresh, like out of hope, like the things that you were just hoping for kind of fell through. And then you're at the next step where you have to like find new things to hope for. And if you look at it, this is, I think, what psychologists call trauma or traumatic experiences. It's kind of like when everything changes, right? Reality shifts immediately. And what happens is like you're trying to figure out how to regulate yourself and how you feel about all of this. And you're in a place where you really can't. And so, you got to hope that, it'll regulate itself. But then you have to like start looking for stuff. So when you see people that are dealing with this process or this stage, like Mandy said, I think we all have been there. That's what life tends to do to you when you don't know any better. Is you have to learn to look for things that you're not paying attention to, right? And you have to start taking care of the things that you may have neglected that brought you here. And that's like the process. That's the healthy process to get back. Because people that have clinical depression get therapy and they become better. And so it's not a disease in the sense that it's killing you unless you take a medication. So if that's the case, if talking to someone else can fix the problem or can help you, then you are actually the solution to this.
Yes.
And it's your perspective that is going to get you out of it. And if you don't have hope, it's because you're not looking for it. You don't see it. You know what I mean? If you feel like you've lost everything, it's because you haven't done a proper inventory of all that you have. It's the only reason it feels like you've lost everything is you haven't done the correct inventory. Your inventory is off because there are still stuff here. There's still things here that you haven't lost. And so, because that was my lowest point was when I felt I lost everything. The problem was what made it the lowest was that someone called me shite. And then because I've been called shite plenty of times, but I heard that I was shite and that my shiteness was the reason everything was lost or taken from me. And then I believed it.
Yeah.
And that's what took me to my lowest. It wasn't until I realized that I'm actually not shite. And also I didn't lose everything. They only took a portion of things that I was able to start climbing my way out of it. So
there you
go. If there is a way out, it's going to be in you, the person listening that's dealing with it. To those that are dealing with people that have depression, tell them this: if there is a way out, it's in them. And that's only if they think that that there is going to be a way out, and there is. I'm telling you, there is a way out of this, right? But that person has to be able to see this, and that's what friends are for.
That's good. But what about
to help you see it?
That's good, brother. But there's a person.
Mm-hmm.
And walk with me on this. There's a person who nobody cares about.
Yes, sir.
Now
Yeah.
let me prove it. Think about the people that you don't care about, brother. I mean, come on, Jeff. You don't care about. You haven't even asked about them.
Yeah.
You know their name, but from the last time you saw them or heard anything about them until now, you never have asked about them.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I got
Okay. If you found out they got married, you won't have a full sentence to say.
I wouldn't. I would. I would only have an expression or maybe an automatopoeia.
Dang.
What? Something like
Whoa.
that. Whoa.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You also know a lot of other people that don't care about that person.
Yeah.
All right, brother. Then there has to be one person that nobody cares about, Jeff.
Yeah.
At least one. That I say that to say at least one
Yeah.
that nobody cares about. Now, if they died, people will come and say, "Oh man, did you hear about what happened to such and such?"
Yeah.
Is that care? Is that concern?
No, brother. People just like to attach themselves to misery. They want to be a part of that thing that happened that
Wow.
made everybody say, "Ah."
Yeah.
People do that, man, and it's one of the sad realities of the hard truths about people.
That's just how it is, right?
Everybody wants to be the guy that knew the guy that was killed.
Because that's the story to that, right?
Yeah, that's the story. That's why there's so many RP shirts. But when he was in the real world, he only had like 12 people in his contacts
Okay.
when he was alive. You know what I mean?
Okay.
With his 52 RP shirts. Yeah, that's people just do that, man.
So if there is somebody, and it's not, I don't believe there's many that no one cares about. I don't believe that.
Yeah.
But for the 1 or 2 or 15 worldwide, what do they have to live for?
That's a good question.
The answer, just like Jeff said, it's in you. Is that there's one thing that's true about all people who are living. They at least care about themselves, and that's all that it takes.
Yep.
I'm telling you, the person that I am today is because of how much I care about myself. I really do care about myself. All right, Jeff.
Yeah.
I care, man.
Yes, sir.
I know that I'm put here without my asking, but I'm here, man. And that's all I know is that I'm to be here. I'm gonna be here until I'm not gonna be here.
That's it.
And while I'm here, I'm gonna see what all I can get out of this thing, man.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm telling the people, you're gonna die.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The person that no one cares about. No one cares about you. You are gonna die. When you die, you may say, well, then we'll see. I'll just kill myself and then we'll see how they feel. When you die, they won't care about you.
Right.
The only thing they will care about is being able to use you to get likes. Use your death to get likes on Instagram.
Yep.
Hey, they'll go and they'll say, I thought he was following me on Facebook. Or she. Then they'll finally find your name. There's like 2 people with that same name. It's like, I don't know which one it is. This one says he went to U of H. The other one says he went to UTSA. I have no idea which one.
Oh, man.
You don't care about this person. You have no idea which one it was.
Yeah.
So you click both. They're going to click both, and they're going to find, oh, yeah, this is the guy. And they're going to take a picture of that person that they had no idea. Pretty much didn't even have your existence in mind. They're going to take a picture and they're going to put it up and they're going to say, RIP, you never know what someone's going through.
Yeah. Check.
Jeff, am I lying? Am I lying to the people right now, brother?
Not at all, brother. Not at all, man. I see it often. As we're all processing this terrible thing that happened to this person. That's the kind of thing they say. And then it's like, what do you mean? You don't know him. How are you processing this? You never cared,
Okay.
You might say something like, check on your people, guys. Check on your friends. You just never know.
So they don't care. The only power that you can put and impress in this life is if you care about yourself so much that you're willing to live one more day. That's it, man. That's all I have is I'm willing to live one more day. That's all I have, and that's all you need.
That's it.
I don't want anyone to take me out today. I don't know how tomorrow's going to end up.
That's it.
But all the todays that I've ever lived, I don't want anyone taking my life. And I'm for sure not going to do it. So it's the same thing with you, sir, ma'am, child, young child. Just live that one more day. It might even sound like I care about you. I'm saying this stuff, and you may take it to heart and say, well, at least he cares about me. The truth is, I don't know if I've met you or not. I don't know. But if I have met you and you're going through this and you're saying, does he at least care? Is he saying that he at least cares? Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Yes, small child. Yes, I care. We care so much that we wanted to at least put a video up to say, hey, one more day, man. One more day. Any last thoughts, Joe?
No, brother, I like that. One more day, man.